Hey, howdy, hey. Welcome back to my channel. For today's live stream, I'm going to be reviewing RuPaul's Drag Race All-Stars Season 11, Episode 3. So, if that sounds good to you, make sure to hit that like button, share, and subscribe. Become part of the Amateur Hour channel community. And like, share, comment, subscribe. You can follow me on my other social media platforms at Amateur Hour on all platforms. Do not hesitate to any of the queens mentioned in this video, because I know what these are meant for. These are meant for us to have a fun time over here on this side of the interwebs. Talk about all things Drag Race and have a cute little kiki. So, y'all, before we do get into this, I want to give you some live/channel updates, because they will be relevant to the content next week and how things are uploaded. I am moving next Friday. Yes, well, signing the lease next Friday, moving next weekend. So, with that being said, I am going to try my best to do my upload on Friday next week. However, if things change up because of scheduling and just chaos of moving, I apologize. This weekend is coming up is gonna be crazy. It's a lot, but I'm excited. I'm excited for a new setting, new life, new everything. So you will be seeing new backgrounds, new things coming up within the next few weeks on this channel. I hope to have a fully cute little setup for y'all. So like, share, comment, subscribe. Help me get monetized, because moving is expensive. And yeah, we're gonna talk about this episode because it was interesting. The bracket one, bracket 1 is now over. So after 2 weeks, bracket 1 is over. So all the girls in bracket 1, low key, not even low key, real key, got screwed, because instead of having 3 weeks on TV, they only get 2 weeks unless you make it through the merge. So 4 queens at most aren't going to have any more episodes unless one of them come back out of the wildcard entry, right? Like we're learning about later in this episode. But it's interesting. I think this bracket system works. However, I think they could change it up. Maybe have one episode 1, bracket 1, episode 2, bracket 2, episode 3, bracket 3, and then you switch off that way. And then that way none of the queens are like really limited in the amount of time they have on TV. Because I think that would be a little bit more fair or just. I don't know. I do know All Stars 12 is allegedly rumored. All Stars 12 is filming hopefully this year. And I have seen rumored cast lists, and I'm like, y'all, it's way too early. They just started filming season 19. I don't trust shit. So, those are fun, cute little fan edits of their prospective cast, but I don't trust shit. Not until filming actually starts. Anywho, let's get into this, because this cast is not cast. This episode was interesting. Starts out with the queens coming back in the workroom after the lip sync between Akira and Dawn, where Akira won. So Akira now has 4 points and Dawn has 4 points, right? Now we're getting to the MVQ point exchange, right? So this is interesting. They're congratulating Dawn and Akira, right? Right off jump, Lucky gives her star to Morphine, right? So the Miami Alliance, I guess, is alive. Sure. So Morphine now has 2 points. And then Morphine gives her point to Lucky. So Lucky now has 2 points. All right. So it's kind of going as you would expect, right? The queens who didn't win trade points, right? Right. That's what we would expect, right? Morgan kind of shakes shit up. Not gonna lie, Morgan's a real one. I really love Morgan this season. Spoiler alert, but like if you're watching this, you've already seen it. I'm upset that Morgan didn't make it through, because like Morgan has been a genuine, kind, awesome individual this season, and I love getting to see Morgan doing what Morgan does best. Obsessed. And the fact that Morgan is going to do this really shake shit up. Morgan said she's giving her point to Akira because Akira helped her out in the sewing design challenge, right? So this is where shit starts to shake up because never before, as far as I can remember from All Stars 10, has a MV2 point been given to someone who had just won the previous week. So Morgan is shaking shit up. And she's like, I'm giving my point to Akira because Akira helped me design my outfit and helped me with the challenge. So she's giving her point to Akira. Oh, at the gym, but listen. Cool. So, like I was saying, Morgan gives her point to Akira. So Akira now has 5 points. Then, like I said, Morgan is shaking shit up. Mystique gives her point to Akira. So Akira now has 6 points, right? That's how math works, yeah? So Akira is very much so in the lead at this point in the competition, which again is really shaking shit up and making things different. This is fun. This is different. This isn't just like regular kumbaya bullshit that we get, right? Anywho, so Mystique gives her point to Akira. Morgan gave her point to Akira. Akira has 6 points going into the final challenge. So Akira is a clear front runner at this point in the season. Now we can clearly see RuPaul wants to see drama. Oh, for sure. Sorry, I'm taking forever to read this. Yeah, except with the tiebreaker. I'm mad for Morgan. Like, Morgan deserved to make it through the merge. Morgan won 2 challenges, was a genuine, kind person this entire time, and stood up for what she believed in. So, like, Morgan gets major kudos for me. Especially with, yeah, exactly. And again, we'll get to it later. Like, Morgan, I feel bad for Morgan. I really, really do. I really like Morgan. So Mystique gave her point to Kyria. Back to what we're talking about, right? Cut 2. The next day, they're going through their bags. Damn it. Oh, wait, my bag is over here. We're going to... Okay, I planned this out, right? We're going to do what's in my bag. Just some stupid shit. All right, I'm going to the main stage. Sorry, y'all. Like, we'll get back to it. Oh, yeah, you know they want... Well, the Soki and Akira drama was after, right? Or, I don't know. The timeline's messy. Anywho, we're going to do a what's in my bag challenge. What's in my bag? And my wallet. Because I was inspired by Mystique and all of that. My keys. A mask. So exciting. Hand sanitizer. Because you never want to leave home without hand sanitizer. Receipts. And what else? There's one more thing. Oh, these energy gummy things. Yeah, that's what's in my bag. What's in yours? Anywho, listen. It came to my brain. I was like, Mystique did a what's in my bag. We did a what's in my bag with morphine. Now I'm gonna show y'all what's in my bag. Not the most exciting bag, but Morgan is not wrong. Morgan was not wrong at all. The fast and the the sooner they fall. Yes. Anywho, all right. Right? So we did the what's in my bag. And then we have this point where Mystique is calling out Lucky and Morphine for not giving their points to Morgan or to Akira. And I'm like, Mystique, You are allowed to make whichever decision you are allowed to make with your points. I get where you are coming from. You're like, listen, someone else helped you out. You should give them their points. I get that. However, it comes Morphine and Lucky are completely entitled to do whatever they want with their points. And also, it comes off a little strange because the previous week, Morphine did the choreo, right, for the girl group. And yet no one really gave her a point. One person gave her a point, right? Whereas this week with Akira, multiple people gave her points. So I'm like, I get where Mystique is coming from. But at the same time, I'm like, that felt a little weird. Just look at Mystique Summers and okay, I'm gonna look at my phone because like I think that there we go. Just look at Summer Madison and like yeah. Morgan is not wrong. All the fast the bond this soon. Oh, gotcha. So versus Akira and Morgan, who had more of a genuine bond, or Morphine and Dawn, who had a genuine bond. I get what you're saying there. I get it. Anywho, so Mystique is kind of calling out Morphine and Lucky for not giving their points to someone who helped them out. And I'm like, I get where Mystique is coming from. Like I said, at the same time, they're allowed to do what they want with their points, just like you are allowed to do what you want with your points. It felt weird. And then we get cut to Mystique and Lucky having to work together for the challenge, right? So it's already set up to not work in their favor. All right, RuPaul comes in and tells them what the main challenge is. They're going to have to do spooky QVC, essentially, like home spooky shopping network. Sure. It's an interesting challenge. Is it the most exciting? No, but hey, it worked. Home spooky network. There we go. So right away, Morphine and Dawn group up, right? Because season 16 sisters are good Judies, sure. And they know they can work well together. Akira and Morgan immediately meet up, right? Because they're like, oh, we don't want to work. We're going to work with each other because we're good friends too. When are you? When are you bringing back Rose Quartz? Oh my god, yo, that is a throwback. I haven't done Dragon in like a hot minute. I don't know. Maybe when I move, I'm gonna have my own apartment, and I'm gonna feel a whole lot more comfortable doing all of that, right? So maybe I'll bring back Rose Quartz. I haven't thought about that. But also, to be fair, I appreciate what you're saying. Those numbers were not there when I was doing my own makeup. But throwback, yo, I will bring her back at some point for sure. For sure. You're a real one. Anywho, so Lucky and Mystique are kind of leftovers, and they have to work together after just fighting at the table. And I'm like, yo, this is some crazy drama. This is real TV. This is chaos, and I love it. Only 2 will survive. All right, now they're in Paris and they're making plans of what they're going to do. It's a scripted improv challenge. Sure. How can it be both scripted and... So I guess it's like they have a skeleton of a script and then they fill in with improv, is my guess. But I do think it's funny that they call it a scripted... A scripted... Oh my god, can I speak? A scripted improv. It feels like an oxymoron there a little bit. Anywho, we're going to get to the actual skits because that's kind of more what I want to talk about. All right. Morphine and Dawn I think they both did pretty well. I definitely think Dawn was more of the standout of this group. Um, Lucky has good ideas but bad execution. I kind of agree with that. Especially when you look at her runways, like it's a cool concept. It's a really cool concept, like the whole being the Louvre. But my thing is, if you are going to be the Louvre for the whole Paris runway, right? Like the whole theme is Paris runway, and you were trying to represent the Louvre, why aren't you actual paintings from the Louvre? Hmm? Am I being too nitpicky? Let me know in the comments. We'll get to the runway. Am I being too nitpicky? But like, if you're going to say you're representing the Louvre, I want to see actual paintings from the Louvre as part of your garment. Those aren't actual paintings from the Louvre. Anyhow, sorry, I'm a little frustrated by that. So, Morgan, Morphine, and Dawn are paired together, and they're doing their whole skits. I think Dawn definitely was a standout of this group. She was compelling. She was fully in character. I think Morphine took more of the supporting character role, which works. However, if it is a improv challenge on Drag Race, they want you to take the stage. They want you to have your moment. That's like the whole improv, right? Of it all, because you want those points. You want to win that challenge. And it felt a little bit more to me like Morphine was more of the supporting character towards Dawn, which was not working in Morphine's favor. Anywho, it was a fun challenge. It's not my favorite. I don't love these challenges, but it worked. Dawn was definitely my favorite of the duo. I agree with that. She has good ideas with runways and challenges, but bad execution. Also, can we talk about how she was supposed to be a vampire, but then she was like, "Oh, it's inspired by fungus and Venus flytraps." Those aren't vampires. Stop it, y'all. That pissed me off. That pissed me off so much. Oh my god. Anywho, Uh, Morphine did well. Again, like I said, I think she was towards the bottom of the duo, which is unfortunate. But like Morphine just was not standing out as well as she might want to. I do think Hello Flesh was funny, which I'm sure low key they probably wrote for her. No shade, but like they had all of that prep suddenly after she came. No, it was prep for her. Anyway, it was fun. It's a fun group, right? All right, cut to Akira and Mystique, who were not working as a duo. They were fighting with each other during the entire time. Lucky, this is not a vampire. Stop saying you are a vampire if you are not a vampire. This pissed me off. Whew. The blood thing was short, too. Why not? The vampire part, you were not a vampire. Stop that. It pisses me off. We all know Dawn did not win that lip sync, but they had to push her, or else it wouldn't have been Akira and Morgan moving on. I would have been fine with them. But at the same time, Dawn has also won every challenge. So think about it, being Dawn, winning every single challenge, you get up to 6 points, and then you don't make it through? I'd be a little bit pissed. I get your perspective. I get what you're saying in terms of like Dawn not winning the lip sync. Sure. But let's say Dawn didn't win the lip sync, right? We'll just play in that universe, right? So Dawn ends up with 6 points, right? Morgan gets. Oh God, how many points did Morgan have at that point? Oh, brain. You know what? We'll talk about it later because right now my brain is not in there. Morgan gets. She won 2. No, she had 3, and then she got. Did Morgan get any points? I don't think so. Sorry, I thought I was the only one who knows that. Yeah, they definitely would have just wanted to push her through. Yeah, We'll get to it. We'll get to it. Otherwise, I'm going to spend too much time trying to figure out in my brain, and my brain is not fully there yet. Mystique was fine. I think Mystique didn't really. Alright, improv is a lot of yes and Mystique was saying no to Lucky a lot of the times, which didn't really work for this challenge. Like I said, improv is yes and when you say no, that's not improv. So that was unfortunate. I think she did well with the bags, but like it wasn't. They weren't cohesive. It was definitely the weakest group of the night. All right, Akira and Morgan. I think they both did really well. I enjoyed them. I think they both really understood their characters and had funny moments. I definitely think Morgan was the standout of this duo. That being said, Akira still did well. Like I enjoyed Akira. I thought she did well. Yeah. Cool. Morgan was definitely the standout though. I think this was a great challenge for Morgan. She had some great moments. Yeah. New day in the workroom. Morphine is scalped because she knows she's not gonna win. Morgan is talking to Dawn. This is one I'm saying, like, Morgan is a real one. Morgan is like telling her how it is, and she's being very honest. And I have a lot of respect for Morgan. Yeah. Lucky and Mystique are not happy with each other, especially during the challenge, seeing as like they weren't really working well together. It didn't come together. It was unfortunate. Yeah, they're fighting. Mystique is upset. I'm kind of gonna run through this. This whole MVQ for Akira was very funny. Akira is very funny. I love that moment. It's very cute, very funny. RuPaul, welcome to Fab or Drab in the Sandwich Hour channel. On this channel, we say Fab, Mama, it's Fab, or Ooh, it's Drab. And for RuPaul, what are you gonna give RuPaul? Welcome to the stage, RuPaul. Do you give RuPaul a Fab or a Drab? Let me know. For me, I'm gonna give RuPaul a Drab. This was not my favorite look. The quicker the bonds forms, the quicker they fall. In the words of Morgan McMichaels, like 100%, 100%. Morgan says it how it is, and I love Morgan. Oh my god! All right, so what do we think of RuPaul's look? Let me know. I'm gonna give it a Drab. I don't know. I'm not a fan personally, but what do you think? What are your thoughts? Let me know. Alright, I'm gonna go and just say it's a Drab and move on, because otherwise, we're gonna be here for a long time. Michelle looks nice. No comment. I love T.S. Madison. Happy she's there. Christina Ricci is the guest judge. I don't necessarily think she is the most engaged. I don't really remember many of her critiques. No shade to Christina Ricci. I don't really remember many of her critiques. Let me know if you do. Yeah. All right. Category is Paris, France. All right. So up first we have Dawn, who is a rat. Dawn had my favorite look of the night. Was it stupid? Yes. But it was so well done. So pretty. I love the dress, love the tail, love the makeup, love the prosthetic. Very Dawn at the same time as being a rat. Like, that was funny. It was funny. It's funny. Ratatouille. I love Ratatouille. Would you have been mad if RuPaul said, fuck it, and send them both going ahead since they're tied and have honestly no. I wouldn't be mad. I get where people might get mad with that because, like you said, 2 and then only 3. This is why I think sometimes letting 3 through is okay, especially if they're a tie. It makes it more interesting moving forward. We get more opportunity to see Morgan McMichaels, who I love getting to see on TV. I wouldn't be mad about it at all. I think it would have been the right thing to do. Anyways, back to the runway. Dawn gets a fab for me. Favor of the week at fab. Yeah, absolutely fabulous. It's gorge. Favorite of the week. Everyone else I low-key had problems with. We'll get through it. We'll talk about it. We'll talk about it. Morphine. I love the concept. I think it's very cool being the catacombs in France. I think it's a really cool concept, especially for a Paris, France runway. Smart, really well done. I love the skeleton makeup. Love the dress. It's very, very, very well done. Originally this was another one. Although I do wish the makeup went down into the neck, and this is bringing me into my critique for this. This is me being very nitpicky. I wish it was brought down into the neck and into the décolletage. Because if you're gonna give Skell, I want to see the full skeleton makeup. And I understand she probably didn't have enough time to do that, but I wish we had gotten a full skeleton moment. It's very well done. I'm just being very nitpicky, and I wish it had been brought down into the neck and the décolletage. I just don't like the necklace on Morphine. Wait, the necklace on Morphine? She's wearing a necklace. Oh. Yeah, it is a little weird of a necklace. And also, I took another picture because this bothered me. If you look here, see where my mouse is pointing? Here. This is what I mean. It's not really being brought in or continued. I wish it looks like a mask. And it's cool. But, like, if you're gonna give Skull, I want it brought in here. I don't want to see your normal human skin here. I don't want to see it not blended here. This is me being very, very nitpicky. Like I said, but if you're gonna do skeleton, fully commit. I don't want to see that. It's still a fab, but like, it could have been pushed farther, and then it would have been even more gaggy. That's where I have notes. And again, this is me being super nitpicky, but also this is All Stars. Up next, we have Lucky Stars. I was talking about this earlier. If you are supposed to represent the Louvre in Paris, France, why are you not wearing paintings that are actually in the Louvre from Paris, France? I love the concept. Love the concept. Execution is low-key doo-doo. I feel bad saying that. I feel really bad saying it. Especially when you look from the back. Ooh. I'm telling it how it is, and that's not nitpicky. That's not nitpicking. You keep it how it is. I'm trying. And again, no shade to Lucky. I think it's a very, very, very cool concept. If you are representing the Louvre, be the actual paintings from the Louvre. You could just say, hey, I'm going to be the Mona Lisa and be the Mona Lisa and do it really cool freaking Lucky Stars way. Like, that would have been gaggy. Just focus on one painting instead of trying to do multiple paintings. Yes, she's overcomplicating it, overdoing it, and then it just turns out shittily. Wow, okay. Just focus on one painting. Be the Mona Lisa. That would have been gaggy. Do the Mona Lisa in the Lucky Stars way. 100%, that would have been better. Instead of trying to be. Anywho, this isn't me meaning to shit on Lucky Stars. Like, I feel bad doing this. I'm telling you what I think. And ultimately, again, I couldn't even be on this level. No shade to Lucky. It upset me. It really did, actually. Like, again, I think someone else mentioned this. She's trying to do too much. If they think that's nitpicking, they would. I'm sorry. I'm being honest. I'm working with a third of what a Congress. Okay. Sorry, that triggered my inner Hamilton fan from high school. Whew. Wait, shoes? I didn't know she wore different shoes. Because I feel like she kept wearing the annoying white shoes. Huh? Alright, I need to get a better look at this. Come on. You like them? It's the same shoe as before. It's the same shoe every time. Do I like her shoes? No, because it's the same shoes every fucking run. Sorry. The more I look at this, the more mad I get. Alright, I need to move on, Sam. Oh my god! Oh my god, this was bullshit. I'm sorry, Mystique. This was bullshit. You can't say, oh, I'm Charlize Theron from a fragrance commercial and that's how I'm France. No, no, no. You had this garment in your closet. You chose to wear it and say, oh, I'm Charlize Theron. That's what happened. Oh my god. This was the worst of the night. I'm sorry. I get it. People, not everyone wants to spend a lot of money on All Stars. I get it. Sure. When you are coming back for All Stars, though, and you have people on a whole entirely different level, like Dawn, coming back with this. I love Mystique's idea, but I didn't like the idea. I didn't like this at all. If you're going to be Paris, France, be an actual iconic moment from Paris, France. This was not it. This was drab. This is the worst of the night. I'm sorry. I literally had a problem with so many of these runways and it pisses me off. Oh my god, because so many of them are so close to being perfection. And it's just like, y'all ignore these little details and it's. Anyways. I love Mystique's idea. We already covered that. Yes. And again, it's a drab. No. All right. Akira, this is sickening. My one no. If I were to be nitpicky here, different breastplate. You can tell you're wearing a breastplate. It looks like it's too small for your body. I wish we had it looking more like boobs as opposed to it looking like a breastplate. It looks like one of the breastplates that Safira Cristal wore on season 16 when it was too small for her. That's what it's giving me. Other than that, this is perfection. And again, this is me being super nitpicky. I love the concept, love the dress. I wish it had a bigger boob. Still fab. It's a fab. Like, you can't deny it, Kyria. It's a fab every single freaking week. But I want a bigger breastplate. They're too close together and too small. Maybe she couldn't fit a bigger one in this outfit, because I feel like she's worn bigger breastplates. And this one just feels too small for this. I don't know. I really don't know, because it still looks gorgeous. Like, it's a really cool reference and a really cool execution. It's still a fab. I want a bigger breastplate. Akira's hair always looks like it's natural to me. Maybe it's... Oh no, her hair, like, everything else is perfection. This is me being too much. Like, I want a bigger breastplate. And she still gives body. Like, I can't deny that, ever. But, like, I want a bigger breastplate. Still sickening. I want a bigger breastplate. Up next, we have Morgan McMichaels, who's doing a Joan of Arc reference. She was moving a lot, so trying to get her a still of her was difficult. I like the concept, and I like that she put her own twist on it using, like, silverware. I think that was funny. I just don't love it. I don't love it. I don't know. Something about it feels off. Something about it feels off to me. Maybe I'm being too much. Let me know in the comments if I'm being too much. But this is not my favorite from Morgan. Akira genuinely looks like they've put a biological... Honestly, T, like, Akira's a gorgeous queen. Gorgeous. Sickening. Stunning. Perfection. These little details that are bothering me. Oh my god. Listen, we'll get to the Silky Akira drama later on in the season. You know they're gonna have to address it. Anywho, alright, we're gonna cut to critiques, cut to placements, and all of the above. Dawn is in the top 2. Congratulations to Dawn. I definitely agree Dawn should have been in the top 2. I think she did well in the challenge, and I think she had the best runway of the night. So I was very happy with Dawn being in the top 2. And the other top of the night is Morgan McMichaels, which means Morgan McMichaels has won 2 challenges in this bracket, right? And we'll get to the points here in 1 second. So, they both each get 2 points. Dawn is now brought up to 6 points, and Morgan is brought up to 5 points. 5 points, right? So, whew. At this point, if I am Dawn, I need to win this lip sync. I need to win this lip sync. Because at this point, essentially, only one queen is going to give me a point. I'm pretty sure only Morphine would be the one to give me a point, right? So Dawn needs to win this lip sync, because otherwise she'll just be at 7 points. Oh my god. Can you imagine? Morgan wins this lip sync, right? Let's say Morgan won this lip sync. She'd be at 6 points, right? So we would have Akira at 6, Dawn at 6, and Morgan at 6 points, all going into the point ceremony. That would have been gaggy. Oh, I wanted to see how that actually would have turned out. Anywho, so 6 points for Akira, 6 points for Dawn, 2 points for Lucky, 5 points for Morgan, 2 points for Morphine, and 1 point for Mystique. So Mystique's hopes are basically gone at this point. They are. Hypothetically, if Akira... What's the... Huh? Hypothetically, what's the wind season? Hypothetically, if Akira wins... Huh? I'm confused. Anywho, they're lip syncing to Zombie Boy by Lady Gaga from the Mayhem album. This was a fun lip sync. I definitely think the edit definitely favored Dawn. It definitely cut away from Morgan a lot. I do think you couldn't make the argument that Morgan won this lip sync. I think Dawn did her best that she could. But I also think you could make the argument that Morgan won the lip sync. Yeah. Yeah. That's what it is. It is what it is. I think Morgan could have won this lip sync for sure. So let's say hypothetically Morgan won this lip sync, right? She would have been brought up to 6 points. All three of them would have been tied going into the point ceremony, right? Right. So this is how it would have played out. Ooh, Dawn won the lip sync, so Dawn now has 7 points, right? So Dawn is now in the lead, right? And now we are doing the point ceremony. All right. So Akira gets her point to Morgan. This was gaggy. Akira giving her point to the queen who she is tied with is gaggy. What I would have done, low key, if I were more Akira, gave your point to Mystique. That is the most strategic move, right? Give her to the queen. Give your point to the queen with the lowest points, so you have the greatest chance to make it through. But Akira is also a very kind and genuine person and gave her point to the person who she was the closest to in this competition and who she believed did the best. So I give major kudos to Akira for sticking up for what she believes in and actually doing the right thing, as opposed to doing the strategic thing and giving her point to someone with no chance of going through. We all know why they did what they did. I don't know. Hypothetically, if Akira wins this season, all better in the world, what do you think if she was to win the whole season? I'd be happy with Akira winning. I love Akira. Yeah. I don't know. She has some fierce competition, especially in the other brackets. I mean, Crystal Method. Why am I just listing Crystal Silky? Anywho, Akira picks Morgan. Lucky picks Morgan. So Morgan now has 7 points. Right? Because Morgan had 5. She would have been, had Morgan won the lip sync, she would have had 8 points, right? So Dawn would have had 6. Morgan would have had 8. And then Morphine gave her point to Dawn. So Dawn would have had 7 points, right? Because she still won 3 challenges. So Dawn would have had 7 points. Morgan would have had 8 points. And then Akira would have had 7. So it would have been between Akira and Dawn as opposed to it being between Akira and Morgan. Anywho, Morphine gave her point to Dawn. Dawn now has 8 points. Dawn is into the semifinals, right? Mystique has the final say. Morgan has 7 points. Akira has 6 points, right? She gives her point to Akira, which means it is a tie between Akira and Morgan. The season 2 sisters are tied to go into the semifinals. It is now up to RuPaul. Mother RuPaul is going to have to make this decision. Who is she going to send in to the finale, right? Or semifinals? Whew. So we have Morphine, Dawn going through for sure. Between Akira and Morgan, RuPaul has to make this decision. RuPaul chooses to send in Akira see Davenport into the semifinals, which means, unfortunately, Morgan does not make it into the merge, and I am gagged. Whew, if you look at the season as a whole, as in the season, the bracket as an entirety, right? Morgan has 2 challenge wins. Akira only has 1. Is that the right decision? I don't know. Dawn and Akira are moving on to the semifinals, and I'm happy. I would have been happy with Morgan too. Send all 3 of them in. Send all 3. All 3. Make it more interesting. Why not? We all know what they're doing, but it's not good. But it's not genuine. It's produced drama. We already know going forth into the competition. I don't know. I am a little bit worried, especially after All Stars 10, how they are going to continue the rest of the season. Because if you remember, All Stars 10, orange bracket, great. First bracket, great. Second bracket with the pink, amazing. Better than first, right? Third bracket is when it started going downhill. And then this merge happened, and semifinals went. I am nervous for the rest of the season. I'm nervous. But I will be covering the rest of this on the channel. Like I said at the beginning of this video, I am moving this next weekend. I signed my new lease on Friday, so I'm going to try my best to do a review for y'all on next Friday. If it doesn't happen next Friday, it will happen hopefully either Sunday or Monday. I signed the lease on Friday. Movers come Saturday. Saturday's out of the question. It's not happening Saturday. So if it doesn't happen Friday, it won't happen until Sunday or Monday, assuming I can get my internet set up at my new place. But I will be posting back here soon. I'm going to try my best to be back Friday. Just want to give you all that heads up that it may not happen. I hope her and Silky are still good. And Judge McDermott getting the competition. I don't know. I'm hopeful. That brings me to the end of this review. I had a lot of fun talking to y'all today. Have a good rest of your night or day wherever you are. And I will see y'all back here with the next review. Bye, y'all.